right, I'm going to go over a single leg RDL with just body weight here. So one thing I want to get out of the way about single leg RDLs or single leg work in general, this is not balance work. If your goal is strength, meaning I'm doing single leg RDLs right now for strength, it's not a balancing exercise. So don't feel bad about holding on to something for balance. If I was in a gym with a squat rack, I would be holding on to that right now. A pole, a wall, anything is fine. I'm using this stick because that's what I have because it's better for the camera. But the point is, if you don't have amazing balance and you're trying to turn a single leg exercise into a balance exercise, you're taking away from the purpose. You're not going to be able to be as strong because you're focused so much on balancing. So same thing with lunges, same thing with Bulgarian split squats, anything single leg. Feel free to use a little touch to give yourself balance. Now, at the same time, I don't want to be like this where I'm holding all my weight on the stick because then that takes away from the strength aspect. But to have a little bit of balance here does not take away from the exercise. It actually helps it because it will let me focus on what I'm trying to do more, which is the strength aspect. So, single leg RDL, that is a hinge at the hip and then a squeeze of the glute to come back. Where I see people commonly make mistakes in this, they round through the back. So they look like this. You see the angle of my torso changes, but I do not round my back at all. I push my hip back to find this glute. I want to feel a stretch in this glute and this standing leg hamstring. Also see that my knee is not completely locked out, right? So I'm not like this. Yeah, I have a slight bend in the knee, using this for a little bit of balance, and I'm just pushing this glute back until I feel a nice stretch here. Another important thing to remember, this hip is going to want to spin out, meaning a lot of people are going to do this. Again, not what I want. I want this hip to go back and this hip to stay in line with each other. So I don't want it opening up to the side. It should look like this. Now, I don't have to get all that in the floor. I feel a really good glute stretch right here. This is all I have to get to. And I'm very flexible. I have great mobility and I only need to get to here. So if you're getting all the way down here and you don't feel a glute stretch, you're probably doing something wrong, right? So, one leg, knee is soft, not locked out. Push back through this glute. Don't let this hip spin out and find a stretch here. But the other important thing is now that I found this stretch, I want to stand up by squeezing this glute. I want to think about contracting this glute to pull myself up into a standing position. I don't just want to do this because what I'll do is I'll end up using my back, I'll end up using a bunch of other stuff, my calf, my foot, whatever. Instead, when I go here, I can think about just squeeze the glute. And that stands me up because my glute is what's supposed to be doing the work here. So if I get this stretch here and then I squeeze the glute and as slow as it takes, I let that stand me up. Now I'm doing what the exercise is meant to do, which is work this standing side glute. It's not about this. This is doing nothing. I can do this all day. I can talk to you and have a conversation. One side, find this glute, slight bend in the knee. Don't let this hip spin out. And now I find this stretch and I squeeze. You can hear how hard I'm working. And I do 10 of those. I don't need any weight. Again, I'm very strong. I can do this 10, 20, 100 pounds in my hand. I do not need it because I know how to find the glute and contract that muscle that I'm trying to work. And this is a very crucial skill if you want to be able to work out without the most equipment, like you probably are right now. So it's not about how it looks. It's not about how much weight you have. It's not about touching the floor. It's not about any of this. It's about finding the glute on the standing leg, finding the stretch back here, and then contracting that, squeezing that stuff to come back up. If you can do that, you will get a glute pump like you've never felt, you will feel sore, and you will work that muscle like you never have before.